All right, so I got another story I wanted to tell y'all from the past, of course. Um, this is from the 2010 Eastern meet. Give you a little back history on that. The 2010 meet, if you pan my camera here, get it turned around, was right here. I won the Meat Director's Choice Award. That was June the 11th through the 13th, 2010, in Norwalk, Ohio. And it was at the Kalahari. It was at the Kalahari Motel up there. And what I wanted to tell you about was having to go and rescue a fella. It seems like about every meet I'm involved in some type of rescue mission. Usually when I break down, I'm way far away, so nobody can rescue me, but I'm always usually in a rescue mission. So what happened is we got this phone call. It was about, I want to say it was on the third. I think it was on Thursday night, and a fellow by the name of Eli was in a twin turbo 70 small block, fully custom, had 17-inch custom wheels. And kind of telling you a little ahead, but that's kind of the way the car was. And you got to remember, all right, the second time I went to Norwalk was in 2016. I took no toll roads all the way there. This particular time, we ended up on the turnpike. Well, we're standing out there in the hotel, and we've already been there for over a day, almost two, because we got there on early Thursday, about lunchtime. We're standing out there chit-chatting. It's probably about 11:30 at night. My grandpa and mom and sister and all, they done went on in to the motel. We stayed out, late. Way later at those meets back then than we do now. Now I actually have to, I don't really have, Pop drives his car, so I don't really have a way to have two drivers, so I gotta make sure I got enough sleep to make it home. Back then I didn't care. So, we'd stay up 2 o'clock in the morning and get up at 6. I can't do that no more. But anyway, the funny part about this was, he calls and he's like, I need some help. We're like, okay, what happened? Well, I hit a pothole and I got a flat tire. A flat tire. Do you have a spare? No. Do you have a jack? No. Do you have a lug wrench? No. Okay. What kind of wheels is on your car? Oh, they're custom 17-inch wheels. Do they have a locking lug? Yeah, I think. So I'm sitting there listening to this conversation take place on speakerphone. And so we're trying to gather up tools and this and that and the other. And finally somebody just says, let's just take the truck and trailer and go get him. So me, Jack Cooper, who goes by Papa Coop on the forum, Jack has just got this brand new Ford truck. And he's not a Ford guy, but his brother worked at the Ford place, so he got the employee discount on this brand new truck. And he just got this fancy box to pull his Monte Carlo to the car shows in. And he just had his car restored a year before. And this is like the car's second meet. Well, his car is unloaded to drive for the weekend. And he's from Ohio himself. And the fellow we're going to rescue is from Ohio. So he only had like an hour and a half drive. He was only halfway there when he hit the pothole. Well, so we get in the truck, me, Jack, Ronnie Bryan, who passed away less than a year after this from an aneurysm in his head, back of his head, and his best friend Phil. And we go blasting off into the sunset, into the darkness, to go find Eli and his fiance and their copper tone Monte Carlo. We get on the turnpike and we drive, and of course, I don't know where I'm at. And when we get off on this 2-lane back road, and you like can go on YouTube and you can watch stories about haunted Route 66 and Route 666 out in the west, where this road was dark like that. It was like you think about the South being rural and country. No, there's way more country in Ohio and just wide open spaces, way more than where I live around here. You got to get off down into South Georgia, where I'm heading tomorrow, to see those type of roads. So we're just driving, and we go through a few old towns, and there's like a lot of old buildings and old houses, and I'm like, and it was so dark, I can't even hardly see. I'm trying to get my phone out, and I took a few pictures, and it was so grainy, I ended up deleting them. You got to think now, this is 2010 phone technology. If you go back on my YouTube channel, I have a video from this meet, the 2010 Super Chevy meet, and it's pretty grainy. It looked good at the time, but it's grainy now compared to what you're seeing here. And so we come up on this old farmhouse, this huge house out in the middle of nowhere, on this big, long, wide straightaway. And we pull over on the side. We pull over into the on the side of the road, and Eli's sitting there, and these people is kind of helping him out. They got the lights on in their porch or whatever. So he's like. So we start looking at the tire. Well, not only is the tire busted, the wheel is bent. Like, bad. There's no fixing this wheel. So, luckily, of course, we had the trailer. So, the car's fine to just move a little bit. So, Jack pulls his truck and his trailer up, kind of blocking the highway. He's not blocking this lane here, but he's blocking this lane coming this way. And the house is on this side of the road. Well, so we have some traffic we're dealing with at times. It was getting to be probably midnight, 12:30 in the morning. And this is the only lights for miles, okay? And we see lights in the distance as Jack's backing his truck up and trailer to get the car so he's lined up so Eli can drive right up in here. And we see these lights, it's just like a Suburban or something, and this thing is coming at a high rate of speed. 70, 80 miles an hour. And the headlights are on this truck. All the LED lights are on the box trailer. I'm like, does this fool not see us? Like, what is this nut looking at? So now we've got a car, Eli, that's not loaded yet, but disabled and can't make it. And his rescue crew is about to get T-boned. Luckily, we were all out of the truck. But Jack has already gotten out of the truck, and the truck's kind of sitting out in the road. We're starting to wave arms, hey, hey, hey. And finally, literally probably with 100 yards to spare, I hear deceleration. You can hear this thing just slowing down. And if that fool had reacted a few seconds later, he would have plowed in the side of Jack's brand new truck. So then he would have been out in the middle of nowhere with a total truck and a box trailer hooked to it and Eli. So we get the car loaded, and then we come back. again in the middle of nowhere, and we're all acting a fool inside this dang truck, and we're moving at cows and all kinds of stuff. Ronnie, Phil, they were just a hoot. Jack, he was going right along. It was funny. It's something I'll never forget. And that was the last meet that I got to hang out with Ronnie from Alabama. And again, that following, the meet the following year, I think, was going to be in Carlisle. And I heard that I think it was in May. Yeah, it was in May. He passed away of an aneurysm. So, just another good story from the past. A story that could have ended a whole lot differently had we got Jack's truck T-boned that night. And but luckily we didn't. Ronnie actually loaned Eli his wheel and tire to drive around on for the weekend out of his car. And Eli was able to find a spare at the Super Chevy show and get back home. But one thing that was funny is Eli's car, the Super Chevy, did a spread on the car as a cover story. Not the cover car. I think it had a little picture up in the right-hand corner. But if you notice the photos, the photo shoot was done all from the passenger side. The driver's side wheel had that old rally wheel on it, and it didn't match. So when they done the photo shoot on the car, I don't even think they photoshopped it. They just done it from different angles where you wouldn't see the old spare tire that was on there. So a little magazine magic kind of happened, and so I got to kind of see that photo shoot being done. I got to see I was in this photo shoot here with the Coke machine. And I'll have to tell a story about this at a later time. And I also seen the photo shoot in 2007 with the Coke machine. So I've been a part of several, and I've seen how they do it. That was kind of clever. So go back and look at that magazine. I think it's from the 2010 issue. And you'll be able to see Eli's gold car. It was also the first small block Chevy that I saw, a traditional small block Chevrolet without a distributor. It had a plug in the distributor hole, turning the oil pump, and he had coil packs mounted down below the frame coming up to the spark plug. So it was an old system, but it had an LS series style ignition system, and the thing just simply drove the oil pump. It was a very awesome car. It's kind of a one-hit wonder. Eli was there at that show, and I haven't seen him or the car since. So I hope he's doing, if you see this video, I hope you're doing well. I hope you consider rejoining the club, maybe coming back to a meet down the road. And with that, this will conclude that story from the 2010 Eastern meet. If you watched it this far, again, thanks for watching. And as always, we will see you next time. The next video will be Moultrie on the road, on location, swap meet. And then followed by Daytona Turkey Run on location and on the road. Thanks for watching. This is Jared 1970 Monty signing off, and we'll see y'all next time.